Hello, Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Lunch. This is a place to share positive and useful local information, find out about our fabulous community in a bit more depth, and just try and keep us all connected and entertained during this time. So I'm really delighted to introduce my guest today, who a lot of you will know, which is Chris Neath, who is the manager of the Upper Norwood Library Hub and is here today particularly to talk to us about the Big Energy Saving Network. So Chris, thanks so much for joining me. It's great to have you back
problem.
Again.
Love to see
you. Still from a distance, but you know.
I know.
Yeah. Amazing lockdown beard, Chris, by the way.
Thank you. It's glowing a bit red in the unexpected sunlight.
Yeah, you found a good position there. It's great. Do you want to start by just telling us very briefly about your role at the Upper Norwood Library Hub, just for anybody who doesn't know who you are?
Yeah. So I'm the Library Hub manager here. I work mainly on the operational side of what's going on in the building, get involved in lots of different activities and events that we put on here, and projects when we get funding for specific projects. So one of the ones I'm going to talk a bit about today, I get quite involved in, just getting it out in the community and making it work.
Awesome. So tell us about the Big Energy Saving Network then.
Yeah, so it's a project that we've done for years now, a few years at least, and for the last couple of years it's been funded by the Citizens Advice Bureau, and it's a project that runs over winter, so from basically now, mid-September, start of October time, up until the end of March next year, and it's all about helping consumers with advice, helping to save money, helping people who are unable to keep their home warm or maybe unsure how to do that properly, and giving advice on different benefits and discounts and grants that you can get hold of as well. And there's a big focus around fuel poverty, and really trying to tap into those vulnerable people who aren't able to keep their home warm, can't afford bills, get into debt because they don't necessarily have the technology or knowledge, able to contact their suppliers, all of that sort of thing that can put you into debt and give you a cold home during winter.
And sadly, actually, there might be more people struggling this year as well, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, the project in itself is going to be quite different this year, but it's more important than ever. I mean, a lot of people in financial difficulties. The idea that you're at home so much more, it was not necessarily such an effect during the warmer months, but as we get into the colder part of the year and over winter, it's going to be a really different situation. I think there'll be a lot of people in need of a bit of extra advice and help.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any particular kind of guidelines or criteria rather that people have to fit into in order to take advantage of this?
So it's pretty open. We're not really restricted to any geography or different age ranges or anything like that. Obviously, we want to really target certain groups who feel over the last few years of doing the projects that you identify as having a lot of issues or maybe not having the ability to solve them. But it's really open to absolutely everyone. I think it's one of the reasons the project is so interesting when we do it every year is because it pretty much affects absolutely everyone. Everyone has issues with, you have a supplier, you have your utilities. With exceptions, it really does affect a massive group of people. It's quite broad and wide ranging. So there's certain discounts and things that we can help people with where there are eligibility criteria. But what we do is we just run through, what we can help with every individual, case by case.
Cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what some of the kind of benefits can be from doing it?
Yeah, definitely. So as I said, we've run it for a few years now, and last year it was really successful. We saved, I think, I don't know if it's somewhere about £7,500 for consumers last year.
Wow.
Which is a good chunk. And for some, I know for a fact because I helped to switch them. One of those consumers saved over £1,000 outright a year just by looking at how they were paying and a new supplier, different tariffs, and some of the benefits out there.
Shocking. That's so shocking because that must mean that they've been spending at least 1.5 times that, I guess, a year to make. And
it's one of those things that you just forget about, and you find a lot of people maybe have been with a supplier for 20 years even, and the thing is that they are not loyal to you in any way. So one of the reasons that we run this project every year is because every year you should be looking at it, see what your contract is, see what options you have, check what you're paying, because they slide in increases here and there without you even noticing if you're just sticking on a contract for years and years.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, so we're trying to hit as many consumers as we can this year in different groups. So last year we helped just over 300 consumers, and that's with either switching or looking at the way that they were paying, helping out with things like warm home discount, the priority services register, and or just giving advice on how you can save a bit of money at home with different energy saving measures and things like that.
And I guess some of these things, I mean, I haven't heard of all of those things that you just mentioned. So I guess a lot of people won't necessarily know if they're eligible or if there are extra things they can get help with. So they can find out through you.
Yeah, exactly. I think the energy companies have a lot of things that they are obliged to do. They're told to do by Ofgem or other areas of the government. So they're very good at hiding them in a back area of their own website and something like that. There's ways that they have to, there's information that you have to have displayed on your bill, but if you can't access your bill very easily, if it's online only, or you just still don't know how to read it and what it all means, then it's sort of meaningless. And things like the warm home discount, which is a £140 discount off of your energy bills over winter. So that's opening now. It's already open for most of the companies that do offer it. Not everyone does, but quite a few do. And that is just £140 off of your bill over winter if you're eligible. So there are criteria for that, and it's really to seek out people on guaranteed pension credit and those that are vulnerable. But so many people don't take up the offer as well because they don't either know what it is or they don't know how to access it. And we'll help a lot of people, guiding them or being able to do it on their behalf, because for us it can be a short, quick form that we can fill out, which is maybe a lot more tricky for someone who doesn't have internet at home or a laptop to do it on.
And also, I guess you guys do it a lot, so you get used to doing it very quickly, and what type of reply is needed and things like that to make it very easy.
I think there's lots of tricks as well when you're speaking to an energy firm. If you've got the direct numbers or little ways that you can contact them that don't get you stuck in a long, phone queue, which there's more of at the moment as well. Similarly, there's lots of different ways you can adapt the advice to help people, and just out of experience of having done it for quite a while, there's lots of things you can do.
And it's also it's so nice to actually come and talk to an actual person who is sort of middleman to help you when you feel like they're there to help you as an individual, rather than trying to do it direct with an energy company that maybe it's hard to contact them, as you said, or there's sort of complicated form that you don't understand why you're being asked something, or you don't know kind of what form of reply you need. So actually much nicer to just come and talk to an actual person in your local library hub.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's easy to look at an energy company as a big faceless organization, which often they are, and the fact is that they are there to make money. They are for-profit organisations, and that's why it's a really good pairing that the funder for this is the Citizens Advice Bureau, because it is an organisation that people really see as a non-biased advice-giving service.
Yeah.
And that's what we really want to tell people, is that we're not trying to get you to go with a certain supplier or look for certain things that would benefit us in any way. It's all about giving you the options, and you can take them forward if you want, and we can help you where you need it.
Yeah, awesome. That's really, really cool service to have just in the middle of Crystal Palace. That's awesome. So do you want to tell us a bit about how the process actually works? And obviously I guess it's a bit different this year because of COVID safety. So do you want to tell us a bit about how the process runs and how it's different this year, maybe?
Yeah, sure. So usually the way that we would do it is we'd at the library hub or going out to other organisations, we'd offer one-to-one support. So we could just sit down with a laptop and try and encourage people to bring their bill along and just walk through what we can help with. Or if you just come along with some issues that you've got, we can have a chat about it. And the other thing we used to do were group advice sessions. So we'd partner up with lots of local organisations, things like the Carers Hub and church groups and food banks, and like anyone who would accept us. And we'd come along and talk to a group of people and give a half an hour advice session, just clearing up some things like myths about utilities and fuel and things like that, and then give you some top tips to help out. And then if people wanted to, following on from that, have a bit more additional support and one-to-one advice, then we'd be there to do that. So for this year, it is very different. What we're going to be doing, at least initially, is we've set up a virtual phone number, which I think is in the description. So that is going to be a number that people can call to get advice over the phone initially, and we'll do what we can. So that's one way that we're going to be running it. Hopefully, possibly further down the line towards the end of the project, we might be able to do some face-to-face stuff as well, but it's we'll have to see how that goes. So we set up this phone number and an email address that you can contact as well, and we've got some advisors that will be able to walk you through some of the steps. If you can call up the number and have a bill at hand, that's fantastic. If not, leave a message and we'll get back to you and we can run through what we can help you with. And we'll just go step by step through the different things that hopefully can support different consumers. And the big thing that we always want to do as much as possible is get people switched on either their supplier or their tariff, because that's where you can really save a lot of money. And we'll go through it step by step. We don't need a huge amount of information, but having a bill at hand with what you're using, what your energy you used over the past year, what sort of tariff you're on, your postcode, because a lot of these differ from region to region as well, what they can offer. And then we can just lay it all out and see where you can save a lot of money. And as I said before, over £1,000 for some people, it's not rare. If you haven't considered it for a while, it's definitely worth getting in touch.
Amazing. Just before we carry on, I just want to say hello to everybody who's watching, including Anya from SE19 Dance. Hi, Anya. You're the only person whose name I can actually see, but welcome to everybody who's watching. If you've got any questions for Chris about the Big Energy Saving Network, please do drop them in the social media feed, whichever platform you're on, and we will try and answer them in the next 10 minutes. So type fast. I think what I love about this, the sound of this, is just that I think switching energy company, or kind of looking at switching, can be one of those things that becomes a huge deal. And I'm reasonably okay with technology and using the internet and all those kind of things, and it's still taken me until the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years to actually regularly look at what tariff I'm on and think about switching and think about what I actually want, because it's just easier, isn't it, to stay on the one you're on, and it feels like it's going to be potentially a mammoth job to try and work out all the options and things. And I realized that I also learn much better by listening to people actually talk. So for me, kind of having an actual person there explaining the options who I can ask questions of at the time, for me that would work really, really well, and it would definitely encourage me to do something about it. Whereas using an sort of even an online comparison website or something just fills me with dread. So I think this sounds really amazing.
And I think there are lots of myths and maybe things that they don't make very clear in the process. It's things like cooling off periods. So you have a bit of time to consider what you've switched to, and different tools that you can use that really clearly display parts of the tariff that you might be changing to. So it could be about exit fees that you have in your current contract, or that may be put into your new contract, how long the contract is, whether they offer things like the warm home discount, because not every supplier does. If it's green energy or not, if that's important to you, and ways that you can contact them. So some utility companies will have email only, online only, and for some people that's not great. If they have an issue with it, they want to pick up the phone and speak to them. And there's different tools you can use to make that a bit clearer and really just go tick, 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 I want all of these things.
And a lot of those things are things that you might not kind of think about until you tied yourself into something that you realized didn't work for you as well, I think. Or speaking for myself anyway, I've certainly done that, because you don't think about how you'd contact the company until you need to contact them, and then it's too late.
Exactly. And I think that these are the things that we'd run through with people before they even take on a switch. You just literally look at this is what you're on now, this is what you can change to. Here's the facts and figures. You can make a choice from there, and at least you're making a knowledgeable choice based on information that's not hidden behind some other comparison site or just confusing because of the way they display the information.
Yeah, fantastic. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this? It sounds brilliant. I think you've covered all the questions that I've got off the top of my head. Is there anything else that you want to?
I think there's just a couple of other bits. I mean, we are going to be doing some group online sessions as well. Again, that's quite a new way of doing it for us, but what we're hoping to do is focus on some specific topics or themes once or twice a month. So they'll be free to join, but we'll probably do like an online Zoom setup that people can come along to ask questions if you want, or just sit in the background with your camera off. It's not a problem, and just hopefully learn something from it. So we'll look at a few things like the warm home discount, and cool. Maybe we'll do certain sections just on energy saving measures at home, ways you can save money here or there in small amounts, and maybe some more in-depth things like draft proofing and insulation, upgrading your boiler, getting grants, looking at fuel debt and different meters and things like. There's loads of stuff we can go into. So
okay, yes, please. How do I sign up?
So we'll be publishing them yeah, in due course. We're just getting into the advice sessions now, so we'll definitely be doing one in October. So we'll put it all on the website and on social media and on the newsletter. So keep an eye on those, or join if you haven't already.
Amazing. Cool. It just to finish off this, because I'd love you to tell us a little bit in brief about what else is going on at the hub as well. Since we've got you, we should make use of you.
Yeah.
So before we do that, do you want to just give a quick recap of kind of who this is for and how they get in touch? And also just to say to anybody who's watching, please do pass this on, because I guess yeah, the more people that you can reach, the better. And a lot of that is going to be word of mouth, I think. So do you want to give us a quick recap?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is for everyone. We really are not restricted to any groups in particular, or any particular region. Obviously, it's just helping people in the community, consumers, as much as we can. So if you're a consumer, then we can help you, give you advice as little or as much as you need. We are more than happy to speak to your energy provider over the phone on your behalf, or via another means. We're happy to do the switch on your behalf, or just support you, to allow you to do it yourself, or just give you a bit of advice and point you in the right direction. The best way to get in contact, if you do want any assistance, is to phone that number. I will have some flyers coming up.
Excellent.
Or to send us an email to BESN@unlt.org. If we don't pick up straight away, we'll get back to you as soon as we can and set up a time for a chat, and yeah, go from there.
And this is free because it's funded by the Citizens Advice Bureau, right?
Yeah, it's 100% free from start to end. Amazing. It's all non-bias advice, and as I said, we can get involved as much or as little as you need, for absolutely nothing.
Amazing. Well, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that. And if I could definitely do with some advice about things like how to insulate my home better, and boiler advice and stuff. So if you do run a session on that, I will definitely be there.
Absolutely, I'll get you signed up.
Amazing, thank you. Do you want to give us a quick overview of some of the other things that are happening at the hub that people might like to get involved with as well while you're here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll just do a quick overview. I mean, we've started up a lot of new activities, some from before, some new. We're using our Burgundy room upstairs because it's a big space, so it's given a bit of flexibility to how we operate and make sure that everything's done safely. You can have a look at our website, upandnorwoodlibraryhub.org, to have a look at our What's On. It's got everything on there. I won't go through absolutely everything, but there's plenty. Lots of stuff restarting, and a few new things that I'm organising at the moment. So plenty to get involved in on the regular week-to-week basis. We're also doing 2 holiday camps for the children in the October half term. So nearly sold out, but there are a couple of tickets left. So that will be on the, I can't remember the dates, the 19th, week of the 19th, and the following week, I think, the half terms. So have a look on our website again, and you'll find out if you want to book tickets for 5 to 11-year-olds. We've recently started, I think Daniel was on earlier this week talking about the Crystal Palace Performing Arts. So that started on Tuesday and was brilliant. They really, really enjoyed it. So if you want to get involved in that, again, have a look at the website. We can also find it on Ticket Tailor.
And also, actually, just while you're talking about that, if you're interested in the Crystal Palace Performing Arts, which is twice a week classes for kids, you can actually watch the library lunch from Tuesday, in which Daniel comes to tell you all about it. And one thing I do remember from that, this may be worth saying, is that if you're interested in signing up now, the cost will be pro rata, so you'll pay for what you have and not just for the entire term. So it started this week, you can still join. Yeah, sorry, carry on, Chris.
No, that's
Next
great.
Thing.
So we've got lots of live stream shows coming up as well. So some are still being programmed in at the moment, but lots up and coming. You can find them as they go on the Facebook page or on our website as well. And they'll be streamed over Facebook and YouTube, same as this. So come along and join and get involved. There's loads of really good creative performers coming on board to do what they do best. And one program that we've just restarted recently, which we've sort of reworked slightly, is the English classes. So previously the ESOL classes, which for now we're just doing online. So there'll be group sessions on a Tuesday and Wednesday that just started this week. And we're also doing one-to-one sessions. We've got some really fantastic experienced volunteers that are doing one-to-one, mainly over Zoom, but they can do it over the phone if needed. And there's different ways to try and make it work for you.
And who is that for?
So that is for people with either very basic beginner level English or up to intermediate and slightly higher if there's specific support that they need as well. It's you can register for the course, which lasts all the way up until July. So it's £30 to register, and that's a one-off cost. That's all you pay for basically the whole year.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Really good. And the tutors are fantastic, and you get a lot of support out of it. You can join the classes and have additional one-to-one support if you really want to work on something particular. And maybe if you've got a job interview coming up or something like that, they can have some one-to-one sessions just to get your confidence up on that. It is that the courses are all about confidence building and practicing your English, and just building your confidence more than a formal sort of planned course. It's really tailored to the learners, and they're great, and the group session is good fun, and get some funny topics to chat about and to learn your English and feel a bit more confident about it as well. So spread it around to anyone who you think might benefit from that, and you can sign up through the link on our website or through social media. There's a link on the newsletter as well, so if you sign up to that, you'll see that too.
Amazing. And basically the Library Hub is still very much alive and kicking. There's lots going on, and lots of it's online, but there's starting to be stuff back in person in small groups and things, isn't there? So
absolutely,
it's very much worth keeping an eye on what's going on, signing up to the newsletter, as you said, and keeping an eye on the website. Yeah,
definitely, and plenty more to come. We're planning away at the moment, so there'll be lots of stuff planned in over the next 6 months, 9 months, a year. There'll be loads.
Amazing. Well, come back and chat to us again in a month or two when you want to give us another update then.
Done. Absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you. Brilliant. Well, that's been really interesting to find out about. Thanks, Chris. It's great to chat to you as always.
Thanks for having
me. Pleasure. Just before we finish then, a couple of things. So Chris has actually mentioned most of the things I was going to say, which is fab. But just a couple of things. We are still looking for people to take part in All Alone Together, which is our Arts Council funded project looking at the effect of the pandemic on the local community. There's a very, very short survey on the website. Would really love you to fill it in. Those of you who are watching, who watch regularly, if you haven't done it yet, please do it. There's a box to tick to say if you are happy to be interviewed, in which case I will be in touch to arrange an interview with you. They last about an hour, and edited sections are used in a podcast, which is live, I think, or about to be. So the first couple of episodes will be appearing very, very soon, I think, on the website. So this is really exciting. We get to listen to members of our community in their own words, in their own voices, telling us about their experiences. And I have to say, from doing about 30 something interviews, it's been really fascinating, and everybody said something different. They're really beautiful personal kind of interviews, and everybody's had something positive to say despite challenges and the difficulties of the time. There's been a really lovely thread of kind of gratitude running through it, and appreciation for the stuff that's on our doorstep, which is so lovely to hear about. Halloween concert that's the other thing. We have a Halloween concert coming on the 31st of October, which is going to be live streamed through the Library Hub live stream, and you can watch it for free, but we would love to have donations for the Library Hub through that as well. There's some amazing West End performers. Jo Napthine, who was on the Library Lunch last week, mentioned about it, and my favourite story from that was her idea of being a cat on top of a table for one of her numbers. I think she wanted dry ice as well. That may be a step too far, but we'll see. I'm sure Rin will come up with something impressive. So do keep an eye out for that as well. And then finally, we are always looking for people to come and chat to us on the library lunch. So if you have something you'd like to talk about, we'd love to hear from you. It can be your business, how you've been coping in the last 6 months. It can be a charity, community organisation. It can be just what you are doing with your life right now. If you've acquired an interesting hobby, or you've changed your job, or anything you'd like to chat to us about, we would love to have you as a guest on here. So please do get in touch. That's it from us for today, I think. So thanks, Chris. Great to chat to you.
Thanks very much.
See you soon. And in the meantime, everybody, enjoy the sunshine, which we still seem to have today. It's awesome. Enjoy the sun, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.